Every so often in history, we hit one of those moments, a real turning point where everything just shifts. New technologies, new ideas, they come together and completely rewire the game. Well, guess what? We are living through one of those moments right now. So let's start with a really simple but kind of profound question. What if the very act of healing our planet, of restoring our ecosystems, of empowering communities, what if that wasn't an expense? What if, instead, it was the most powerful engine for financial growth we've ever seen? I mean, think about our economic history for a second. The Industrial Revolution, that gave us steam power. The Digital Revolution, that gave us networks and computing. Each one was a fundamental reset. And now, with forces like AI just collapsing time and climate stress changing our reality, we are absolutely at the dawn of the next great shift, the regenerative revolution. It's all about moving from a system that fights against nature to one that finally works with it. And this right here, this quote just nails the core problem with our current system. It's brilliant at one thing, pricing risk. I mean, it can calculate the odds of collapse down to the last decimal point. But it has this huge, glaring blind spot. It completely fails to see the value in actually making things better. And look, this isn't some moral failure. It's an outdated design flaw. And you can see that design flaw in action right here. It's wild. Since the Paris Agreement, we've poured almost $8 trillion into expanding the very industries we all agreed to move away from. And at the same time, the money flowing to climate adaptation, it's just a tiny fraction of what's needed. The capital is there, but the system's compass is totally broken. It's pointing all that money in exactly the wrong direction. But okay, let's flip the script on this. This isn't just a crisis we're talking about. It's a colossal missed opportunity. Just halting biodiversity loss could unlock an estimated $10 trillion in new economic value. The potential here is absolutely staggering. We just need a financial system that's actually designed to see it and to capture it. And that brings us to the solution, regenerative finance. It's really a profound shift in how we think about money. It's a model where financial value literally grows because we are measurably healing the land, empowering people, and restoring ecosystems. We move from a purely transactional relationship with the world, what can I take, to a reciprocal one. And the great news is this isn't just a theory anymore. A whole new financial architecture has been built to make this a reality. It's called the Planetary Regenerative Trust, or PRT for short. And it's a system designed from the ground up to weave regeneration right into the DNA of asset value. And this is the big conceptual leap that's at the heart of the PRT. In this new model, good stewardship, the actual act of caring for a place, it stops being a cost. It stops being an expense on a balance sheet. Instead, it becomes a value-generating activity. It becomes a performing asset that actively adds to the bottom line. So to do this, the PRT basically redefines wealth. It measures success not just in dollars and cents, but across 5 interconnected capitals: natural, human, social, built, and, of course, financial. This gives you a complete holistic picture of the true value that's being created. Okay, so let's dive into the mechanics. How does this PRT engine actually work? Well, it's built on 3 key innovations that all work together to turn this powerful idea into a practical reality. It's simple, really. You anchor the value, you measure what matters, and then you report the true return. So it all starts with the foundation. It's called a Local Regenerative Land Trust, or LRLT. And this is a unique legal structure that owns land with one single legally locked-in mission: regeneration. Now, this is huge. It means no matter who comes and goes, the land's core purpose to heal and to thrive is permanent. And that's how you turn those ecological improvements directly into financial upside. Next up, you need the engine. That's the Regenerative Capital Credit System, or RCCS. This system meticulously measures and verifies all the positive outcomes happening on the ground. Tons of carbon stored, acres of habitat restored. These verified results are then turned into tradable credits, transforming real-world healing into a valuable asset. And this part is crucial. A 10% share of those credits automatically goes to the local community first, making sure they benefit directly from their stewardship. And finally, you need a new scorecard, right? That's where Impact NAV, or INAV, comes in. It's a whole new way of reporting that shows the entire picture. It combines the conventional net asset value with the verified value of those new regenerative credits. So for the very first time, investors can see a complete, totally transparent report of the total value being created, both the financial and the ecological. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest headaches in finance today. It's the fragmentation of capital. Right now, you've got philanthropic money over here, private investment over there, and public funds somewhere else entirely. They all operate in their own little silos, and honestly, a lot of the time, they end up working against each other, which just stalls any kind of large-scale progress. And this is where the PRT's design is just, frankly, it's brilliant. It creates what's called a single governed rail, one unified trust where all these different types of capital can finally flow together. So whether it's a grant from a foundation or a big investment from a family office, it's all aligned under one mission, all working in concert. Inside the trust, investors get to choose where their capital goes by picking different investment lanes or units. So for example, A units are for investing directly in real assets like land. B units are for funding the actual stewardship work that generates those valuable credits, and C units can support the tech that makes it all possible. But here's the magic. The success of one of these sleeves directly boosts the value and lowers the risk for all the others. It creates this powerful, self-reinforcing cycle of regeneration. So, what this all adds up to is a fundamental paradigm shift. I mean, for decades, the best we could hope for was this defensive posture of preservation. This model, it's proactive. It's about actively investing in healing our natural and social systems, all based on the principle that the healing itself is what creates new, lasting, and far, far greater value. And you might be thinking, wow, a monumental shift like this sounds impossible, but it might be way closer than you think. History shows us that it only takes about 3.5% of a population participating to create a tipping point for major social change. This isn't some distant dream, folks. It's a tipping point that is well within our reach. So that really leaves us with one last powerful question to just sit with. What would our world actually look like if our entire financial system was rewired to value regeneration more than extraction? Seriously, what incredible possibilities could we unlock if our capital was designed from its very core to heal,